Hi everyone, and welcome to this latest episode of One Take. As always, excited to get into some questions. David, I know there's some questions from the Twitterverse you still wanted to get done, and so lay one on me.
Alrighty, so we have Susan Joseph. Her handle is at Susan Joseph 1786.
So we'll put that there.
So she asks, what kinds of use cases can you imagine that would be the most effective marriage of smart contracts and AI?
Well, right off the jump, I don't, in terms of my specialty, I could talk AI, but smart contracts is kind of something that I'm not necessarily a specialist in. That being said, we did write about it recently on the Ross blog. So for those out there who watch these and you haven't kind of seen what we're doing there, we have a Ross blog. Check it out. David, if you could put it below and underneath the video, you'll see a link to it. So check it out. But what I can say is kind of where I see this going is combining what's already happening when it comes to AI and AI contract review with what's happening with smart contracts. I think smart contracts, for those out there who might not be familiar, a contract that essentially, based off of different kind of things that have to happen, it's executable on its own. I think it's going to be something very exciting. There's a lot of folks in the space that are very excited about it as well. John Alber has talked about, he was one of the first folks to talk to me about blockchain. So John Alber, you can follow him on Twitter here, and we did a Legal Tech Labs with him. Check him out there. Also, Larry Bridgesmith out of Vanderbilt loves talking about this stuff. So for folks out there interested in this topic, check those folks out. But all this to say, what's happening right now in AI contract review that I think is neat is the fact that you're having these systems take the first look at the contract and say there's a bunch of provisions that you have agreed to in the past with your client or whichever kind of relationship you're seeing. It will highlight and let you know that's something you've agreed to in the past. So essentially what we're trying to move away from is a world where you're reviewing the same contracts over and over again and essentially finding the same provisions. So how this could all meld together is essentially you could have a smart contract with these kind of AI contract review tools meshed in, so that even from the creation standpoint, you'd only be able to pick different provisions that the other side has agreed to in the past, or that you've already know that is good from a business perspective for your business. So I see it being kind of a union in what's already happening, and I actually think that could be a really smart idea for a kind of a savvy legal tech entrepreneur to get involved in the space. So actually, I'd love to also hear more what other folks think. I know that Susan had some ideas about this as well. So when this comes out, Susan, make sure you comment on Twitter and we can kind of get into the conversation there. And in terms of the AI contract review space, of course, you got folks like Beagle. You also got Law Geeks, so check them out. And so we can chat about that. And they're probably looking at ways to kind of tie into smart contracts as well. So pretty neat. You got really awesome technology when it comes to smart contracts. You got some pretty kick-ass stuff that's coming in with AI contract review. Makes sense for them to come together, and that's the way I see it going as well. Hopefully, Susan, I answered at least most of your question, and thanks so much for a great question. Next episode is going to be a really great one. I know because David has been telling me he's got some more questions for me, so check that out. And if you haven't subscribed to knowing when these episodes are coming out, do so in one of these sides. David will add that in. So thanks so much, take care, and thanks for watching.